guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking the link on the thumbnail that brought you here. I'm so excited to have you here. My name is Mercy. I make videos about faith and my life as a graduate student here in Ohio, USA. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video we're going to be talking about credit scores. Yes, you heard that right, credit scores. This video is particularly targeted to new international students in the US or Canada or other places where they use credit score systems. Now, it's very foreign to most of us, especially people coming from Africa, because most times we don't do credit scores. You have money, you buy what you need to buy, you move on, or you put it on a payment plan and you move on, but nobody is really checking your credit score. So first, what is a credit score? Because when I first came to this country, I did not have an idea, or I did not really understand what it was. So basically, a credit score is a number between 300 and 850 that tells you or tells lenders your credit worthiness. What does that mean? Basically, the number tells lenders if you are a good candidate for a loan, or if you're a good candidate for any facility at all. By that I mean financial, relating to finances, right? So this credit score tells them, have you been someone who has been paying back your debt on time? Have you been a good steward of the resources that you have had, like based at credit resources, I mean, in the past, and if they can trust you with their money. So it's basically like it serves a little bit as like a guarantor, but not so much, just so that they can be sure that they are not going to be giving their money to somebody irresponsible. So that's what a credit score tells a lender. Now, when you come into this country at first, you've got your social security number and all, you don't have a credit score at first because you're just a regular person. There's no credit, like you've not borrowed any money, because you can't have a credit score if you've not borrowed some money in some way. So you basically don't have a credit score. So where do you start from? Okay, let's actually start with why you need a credit score. Now, like I said, when you come in, you don't have a credit score. So there are people who believe that you have your money, you purchase stuff. But the system in America and Canada and the UK, I believe, is that life is in such a way that you can pay things upfront. So for instance, you want to buy a car or a house later in the future. You may not have the bulk money, $10,000 for a car, for instance, to go buy a car, but you can talk to your bank, or you can talk to the dealership, and you can set up a payment plan. So you're using your car, but you're paying for it monthly, say for instance $100 per month or $200 per month, after you have already made a down payment. So if you don't have a good credit score, or if you don't have any credit score at all, you will not be able to make such transactions. If you want to buy a house, very few people buy a house with money, cash, in this country. Very, very few people. So you most likely will need a credit score for the mortgage people to be able to see that, okay, you've been paying back your debts on time, so they can trust you with money. So yeah, credit scores are important. For the average person living in America or Canada, you want to be able to build a good credit score. So like I said, when you first come in here, you do not have a credit score because you've not had the opportunity to borrow any money. I know it's a funny system that rewards you when you borrow, but it's just how it works. So the first thing you want to do, or the first thing I would advise that you do, is that you get a credit card. Now, get a credit card that's get a credit card that is not outrageous. Like, I don't think as a student you need a credit card of $10,000 or even $5,000. You can get a credit card of $1,500. I will leave the link to get a credit card with Discover, which is the credit card I have. And yes, you can get a credit card for like $8,500. Just start little. What that does is that it already starts helping you build your credit score. Now that you have that credit card, how are you going to make sure that your credit score is in a good place and it doesn't fall? Remember, I told you that it goes from 300 to 850. So between 300 and 579 is very poor credit. 580 to 669 is fair. Good credit is 670 to 739, and very good is 740 to 799. Exceptional is 800 to 850. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips to keep your credit score high, and also some tips to make sure that you maintain that high credit score. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is self-control. It's very, very important. We all know it's important, but in this particular case, very important. When I was in my first year, I got a credit card. I was not very prudent. I think I used to forget that the money is not my own, is for the company. You will still pay them. So sometimes, because you have a credit card, you're just swiping. That's very irresponsible behavior. Still live within your means. So what I mean is, yes, use your credit card to go grocery shopping, pay back. The important thing is that you are paying back. So you have to have that self-control to tell yourself, I'm still going to be within my budget, even if I have this extra credit card money that is technically not my own. So you need to make sure that you're paying back as you use, because you're still in your budget. Now, next thing leads me to the next point, which is your payment history. So payment history is one of the major things that can actually drastically reduce your credit score, like drastically. If you set up a payment plan, because when you start using your credit card, they'll tell you how do you want to pay back, monthly, whatever. So you set a particular amount, minimum amount that you want to pay back every month. If you skip one payment, it can drop your credit score by quite a lot. So you want to make sure that, for me, sometimes I do auto pay, sometimes I set reminders, so that you just know that before this date you need to pay this back. If not, your credit score would be affected. So even if you're not paying back entirely everything that you owe, you want to make sure you're paying something, right? Or paying your minimum. That's what I mean, not paying something, paying your minimum. And also remember that credit card, there's interest. So if you are owing plenty money, your interest will be plenty. So it's better for you to just be wise with it. You're using it to grow your credit score. You're not using it to make unnecessary purchases that you don't need. Stick to your budget, right? So yeah, payment history. Another thing that influences your credit score is the type of credit you own. Now, if you just have a credit card, you've not taken any loan from the bank. So for instance, most students may need a loan for a laptop. So if you have a mix of different types of credits, it can actually increase your credit score. I know it's crazy, they're encouraging you to borrow. So let's say you have a mortgage. Well, your students most likely won't have a mortgage. Let's say you have a car loan, and then you have a laptop loan, and then you have a credit card. That actually would increase your credit. I'm not telling you to go and take loan for everything, but I'm just giving you the factors that actually can increase it. They want to see that you have different credit facilities, but you're able to maintain them, you're able to stick to your payment plan and all of that. So in a weird way, but then I strongly do not recommend that international students take unnecessary loans. If you need a laptop, of course, laptop and credit card, they are reasonable. You don't need to do more than that if you don't have to. The next thing with credits, the next factor that affects your credit score is actually how much of the entire credit limit you have exhausted. So what that means is, let's say you took a credit card of $1,500. Somebody that has used $1,400 from their credit card actually would have a lower score than someone who has just used $200. So what they do is that they want to find out that, oh, you have access to all of this money, but are you able to discipline yourself to only use what you need? So if you've used a huge percentage of your credit limit, it reduces your credit score. Also, another thing that is important is the length of the credit history. Now, let's assume that you're trying to build your credit score to, say, be able to, for instance, buy a car tomorrow or whatever. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe next month, and then you get your credit card today. Between now and next month, your credit score will not be as much as it would have been if you gave your credit card like some 6 months. I don't know if you gave your credit card for like 6 months, because what happens is the more you pay back, the more they can trust you, the more they see records that you are paying back, the more they can trust you, so that it's easier for the lender to give you a bigger loan. But if you just got your credit card now, well, they only have 1 month record, so it may not really make your credit score as strong. So, but in general, for international students especially, don't shy away from the credit card, because you need to grow your credit score. I know we're used to using our debit cards, earning money and spending. You can still earn money and spend. You just need to discipline yourself and realize that the money in your credit card is really not your money. It's the money for the company, and you have to pay it back with interest most times. And yeah, take it, but be wise with it. Be wise with your spending. When you're going to rent a house, you're going to need to show your credit score, because they want to be sure that you will be able to pay your rent monthly. They want to be sure that you're a trustworthy person. So all of these factors are why you need a good credit score, and why you should build a good credit score. To keep it high up there, do not close your credit card account even when you no longer need the money. Just leave it at a zero balance. There will be no interest, because once you close your credit card, your credit score would actually drop. It's a very crazy and funny system, but it's how it works. Okay, so don't shy away from it, but also live within your means. I actually had someone tell me about some new students who were being advised to get loans of like 16 to 20,000 for a car. That's foolishness. That's not building your credit score. That's just being foolish, because you're a new student and you probably can't, especially if you are not rich from home. If you're just a normal new international student, you probably can't afford to pay that loan in good time. So you don't want to take that much just because I said go and build your credit score. You want to do it with wisdom, right? So yeah, I know that credit score or credit cards, they are things that we do not really, most new students or most international students do not really have a hang of. So if you have more tips or more comments about this, please put it in the comment section. And if you have more questions, also put it there. Someone may be able to answer. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you've not. I make videos about grad school. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.